Alright, so somehow we managed to survive classes. Sydney, some friends are coming to pick us up. Then we're going to go rock climbing and talk about how you guys can prevent hand rips in the future, because they do suck. And honestly, what better time to talk about the subject while rock climbing, so. How was your day of class?
Okay.
Oh, just okay.
It's Friday.
It's Friday, isn't that good?
No, I want to be asleep.
Hey
I
guys.
kind of just pulled into this lot and then parked somewhere.
Oh, it's fine. Oh. Okay, so we're playing a game with the rock climbing system. Basically, you have to beat one of every difficulty level, moving up every time you beat it. You only get 2 tries. And if you fail, then you go back down a level. So currently, we've gotten the first 4. So we'll see how far we can go without my hands ripping. All right, so today's topic is about hands, and more specifically, how not to rip your hands, especially for CrossFit athletes, gymnastics, climbers, ninjas. Basically, if you're gonna be doing any active sports, there's a good chance you're gonna be using your hands, getting calluses, and then eventually those calluses are gonna build up, and then you can rip them off and start bleeding. We're gonna be talking about what are the steps that you guys can take in order to prevent those rips, because 1, they're painful, and 2, it takes you out of training for at least a little bit. I believe that I have found the secret to preventing hand rips permanently so that you guys will never get them again. Now, it's not just one thing that you have to do. It's not just one trick, one secret. There's a number of things that you have to incorporate into your lifestyle and into your training routine to make sure that your hands are staying healthy and that they're not ripping. So first, we'll start with the cheaper ways to help your hands. 1, we're gonna work on just the calluses themselves. One thing that athletes commonly do is they shave off their calluses. So you can grab either, I know there are a lot of accessories for feet, which sounds nasty, but basically they're designed to shave off the dead skin on your feet. You just take that, put it on your hands, and shave off the calluses. So that's one thing that I do, because if you think about it, calluses are just dead skin buildup. And the more dead skin you have on your calluses, the bigger they are, the more skin that you're gonna have to rip. And so obviously you want to find a happy medium of where you still actually have calluses, but where they're not so huge that they're ripping off every time you climb or do anything active. All right, so once you guys make sure that your calluses are all shaved down and that they're pretty close into the skin, you don't have any big flappers coming out, the next thing that you want to pay attention to is moisturizing and making sure that your hands and that your skin is staying healthy, because even if you're not a climber, you still want to make sure that your skin is moist. Oh, that's a gross word. I don't like that. You still want to make sure that you're moisturizing your skin, regardless of what your lifestyle is. Now, regular lotion works perfectly fine, especially if you have it. It's a very easy way to just look in your closet, and bam, you got something to treat your hands right there. So yeah, that's super convenient. Also, you can use balms or creams. Those tend to work as well. They do tend to be a little bit thicker when you put them on, so they'll end up kind of being a little bit greasy. So just be aware of that. So the secret tip that I'm going to present to you guys, I mean, obviously it says it right here in the title, so no surprise, but we're going to be talking about CBD. So now, what does that stand for? That's a really good question. I have no clue. Let me look it up. What do you think it stands for? Did you look it up, or?
No. Cannabis?
Okay, that's a C.
Defoliant. No.
Cannabinoids are the main compound in CBD. It's basically just
Cannabis.
Well, cannabis is the thing that gets you high. That's not good.
Why are you smoking?
No, okay, no, because it doesn't get you high.
Is your hands high? Feeling them.
So CBD gets your hands high, apparently. It's not weed. It's extracted from it. And yes, a lot of the products that you buy that are CBD products will probably smell like weed, I'm just gonna say. But it's a compound that is extracted from the weed, I suppose. And it's got medicinal properties, and it's claimed to have all of these benefits for you. Now, I'm a little bit skeptical, especially since there's no long-term research out, and there's been a lot of controversy around this topic. And so that's why I'm not really at the point where I want to be putting straight CBD, like the oils or the tinctures. I don't want to actually consume that, just drop it into my mouth, because that's a little bit sketchy to me. But for me, I think the perfect way that I've found to utilize CBD and just try it out is to do the balms. There are a lot more ways to consume CBD than to actually just put in your mouth. There are a lot of products that have the ingredients in them, but they're topical products, and they're meant to help heal your skin, help moisturize your skin, and lock in those healthy nutrients that you need. So that's what I found to be working extremely well. I was very surprised. I picked up this CBD cream. I'll throw it on the screen right now. It is a balm. I just got it from my local Kowalski's, but you guys can find these kinds of balms anywhere online, honestly, like Amazon or any CBD stores. There are a lot of boutique shops as well that carry CBD products just because of how popular they've been. Starting out, getting the CBD cream, I wasn't expecting much. I was just mostly curious to see if this would live up to the hype. And people describe CBD as being miracle cream or miracle juice depending on how they take it. Most people who post these blogs that are like, oh, CBD will save your life, those people are usually the people who are running like CBD companies, and you see them on CBD store websites. So I haven't seen a ton of articles or scientific literature about CBD written from like actual qualified people who aren't just trying to get you to buy their product. And so I just decided this would be a safe way to try it out. So I bought it, took it home, and I started using it. One, it smelled like weed, so that was kind of gross. Two, it was very greasy, got all over my hands, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. And then three, it didn't do anything. And so I was kind of disappointed, and I was like, looking for the receipt, trying to return it. But then I was like, you know what, I'll just keep giving this a try. I know it's super greasy, so the time that I put it on, the time that I apply it is at night. That's the time when I'm least likely to be touching a bunch of things, especially if I'm just going straight to bed. My hands aren't gonna be all over, my laptop or my camera or my phone, because it does get everywhere once you put it on. It's bad. Oh, it's not bad. It feels nice on your skin, but it's super greasy. And along with that grease, it's really smelly. Like, that's kind of a downside. Whenever I go to bed, with the covers on over my head, it just smells like weed. It smells like a hot box to my cover. And so if those two things are, big turnaways or turnoffs for you guys, maybe don't look into this. But for me, I decided that, I'll keep trying this. I'll keep giving it a shot. And what I discovered is that after about 2 weeks of using it every night, so on a daily basis, just one time a day, after 2 weeks, I started noticing a slight difference. Before, when I would train and before I started putting on the cream, I noticed that I would get a lot of internal blood blisters on my hands. The external layers of the skin wouldn't break, but underneath my calluses, there'd be these huge red spots that are clearly blood. And I would get those on my big calluses pretty often. And I started to notice that I just wasn't getting them as much. And so I was curious and wondering if that was one of the benefits or side effects of the CBD. And so I was like, heck, well, why don't I just bump up my training schedule? If my hands can take it, why not keep giving myself more? And so what I did was I started training Ninja from 2 to 3 times a week and I bumped that up. I increased it to 5 times a week. When you train Ninja, you're using your hands, you're going all out, you're swinging, you're taking impacts, you're doing a lot with your hands, and it takes a huge toll on your skin. Ninjas are infamous for having just the most disgusting hands and calluses. And with the CBD, don't get me wrong, it's still gonna hurt. Like, your skin still hurts, it stings, especially if you train at such a high volume, high frequency, but you're not gonna be getting those blood blisters nearly as much, as long as you are doing what I said at the beginning of the video, which is shaving down your calluses, because if you have too much skin, it's gonna rip regardless of what you put on your hands. It's not gonna matter. And so I started noticing that even though I bumped up and increased the amount of days that I was training and the intensity of my Ninja sessions, my hands could take it. And so I've been using this stuff for about 2.5 months. Every night generally. Sometimes I miss it, but it doesn't really make a huge difference if you miss one night. But I've been using it on a really consistent basis, and I haven't ripped for literally 2 months, and it's insane. So my review of it, it's fantastic. I definitely say it's worth that 35 bucks, especially since it's lasted me quite a while. I still have a decent amount left in it as well. So if you guys can pick up some CBD balm, if you see some in some stores, I would say just go for it. Give it a try. If you're skeptical about CBD, why not try it? Because that's the best way to find out if something is going to work for you. And no, I'm not claiming this is going to fix all your hand problems and it's going to, be a magical balm. No, because, obviously things work differently for different people. I'm just saying from my experience, this CBD cream has worked extraordinarily well. My friends and training partners, I've also put them on that CBD stuff, and it seemed to have been working pretty well for them, although it does take time for it to start working. And so I hope that this kind of bit of advice and this tip is going to help you guys out, because honestly, it helped me so much, and it was a game changer as far as my training. Now, ideally, yeah, I would probably apply it more often than just once a day, and I might start trying that even, but even just that one application a day, this stuff works. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share this video and my channel with your friends, and we're gonna see you guys on the next video.